Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are today. Great Biafrans, the lovers of freedoms. I am a freedom fighter, an activist under Mazin Namdoku Kanu command. Fearless voice. Udeje Kenda Mosu. This day is 27th July 2022. I am here to introduce my guest of honors, the IPOB high-ranking officers, Reverend Father Odimmegwa and IPOB Women USA, Madam Bridget Okafor. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, you are highly welcome to my platform. Fearless voice, Udeje Kenda Mosu.
Thank you for having me.
Of Biafrans, Madam Bridget Okafor, you are highly welcome to Fearless Voice platform. Today being 27th July 2022.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Before we carry on the program, I would like to introduce Reverend Father Odimmegwa to lead us in prayers. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, you are highly welcome, sir.
Thank you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Almighty God and Father, we, your children, have gathered in this platform this evening to bear testimony to a wonderful act of grace to our people, the great Biafrans, especially on the head of our leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, in whose life we have performed so many miracles, to which we are bearing witness. You are the God of freedom. You love freedom. That is why you did everything possible to free our brothers and cousins and sisters, the Israelites, from their bondage in Egypt. You sent your only begotten Son to die in order to free us from the slavery of sin. You sent your servant, our leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, to free us from the shackles of bondage we are in, or we found ourselves in that contraption called Nigeria. Not just the free Biafrans, but all the indigenous peoples of Nigeria. Almighty God and Father, we ask you to continue to be with us as we genuinely work hard for this freedom, because we know that freedom is not free and freedom is not cheap. But trusting in your love and mercy, trusting in your grace, we look forward to that day when we shall sing hallelujah, because at last we are free. Ours is not going to be different. We've done it with with so many countries. especially our leader, the members of ESN, and all who are genuinely fighting for the freedom of your people. Some of us are incarcerated in different cells and different military barracks in Nigeria, just for standing up for their freedom and demanding for their freedom. Many have died just because they demanded for their freedom after their holy will. To ask you, dear Lord, to grant them eternal rest and give us every enablement to persevere until we achieve that mission for which they laid down their lives, so that in the end, victory shall be ours to your own greater glory. If we have revised our Lord. Amen.
Amen and amen. It's right now, millions of Biafrans are waiting to hear from IPOB worldwide women leader, Madam Bridget Okafor. And also, we thank you, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, the senior elder high-ranking officer in IPOB family. Biafra, Madam Bridget Okafor, many Biafrans were asking questions. Who is this woman? Many were looking to hear your comments. But today is the privilege of Biafrans to hear your voice, and also you are privileged to address Biafrans, this day being 27th. In this case, you're highly welcome to my program. The leader, Women IPOB, Madam Bridget. So I hope you are free to answer questions so that Biafrans will know your stand in this very struggle. Are you there, Madam Bridget?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, of course. I'm willing and ready to answer any question you have for me today.
Thank you very much. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, many Biafrans, we are hearing your names all over Biafran family. But today is Biafran's privilege to hear your voice, and also you are privileged to address Biafrans worldwide. So I'm hereby hope that you are going to tell Biafrans to know what they do not know. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa. You are highly welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm ready for any questions, any clarifications that you may have on behalf of the the Biafrans. Thank you.
Yes. First of all, to make everything short, first question. The IPOB women leader, Madam Bridget, and Reverend Father Odimmegwa, each of you, in every question, I would like you to contribute in any question. I hope you are there.
Yes, we are here.
Okay. Number one, can you introduce yourselves and tell Biafrans who you are and your rules in this struggle for the restoration of Biafra? Any of you?
Yeah, Madam Bridget, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Biafrans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, depending on where you are listening to us at this moment. My name is Mrs. Bridget Okafor, but most people call me Madam Bridget Okafor. And by the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, the only appointed women leader in the diaspora by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu during the Heroes' Day of 2019, when our leader visited us here in America. I have been leading the women in USA here, and our group consists of both IPOB women that swore oath and Biafran women that did not swear oath. This mixed group will work as a team, as one body, to help and assist our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to restore Biafra. However, during his rendition, and the women wanted to take the fight out to UK, as encouraged by our patron, the Biafran women worldwide, it was their decision that I should also lead them. And that is where the name came, being the leader of IPOB women / Biafran women. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Bridget. You are highly welcome. Millions of Biafrans, they are listening to your questions. And here we go. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, God bless you, sir. Do you have anything to add on the first question, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me stand on the protocols that Madam Bridget has observed by sending my greetings to Biafrans, friends of Biafra, and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name is Reverend Father Augustine Odimmegwa. I'm a Catholic priest from the Archdiocese of Onitsha in Biafra land. I studied social justice at Fordham University here in the United States of America. point, that was where my curiosity and passion for justice, for human rights, for freedom grew to an unprecedented level. It made me realize how much injustice there is in the world across the spectrum of this universe. And not long after my studies, I was witnessing the Python dance in 2017. It was such a horrific picture that I resolved within myself to do something, it doesn't matter how minimal it is, to fight against injustice in my country. And soon after that, I started hearing about Mazen. I started listening to the audios of Mazen Namdekan. I already heard about him before then. So but that Python dance completely got me immersed in active freedom fighting. And by early 2018, I enlisted as a member of IPOB. And I've never regretted it. A single day I've been a member of IPOB, because I could see the handwriting on the wall that my people were in a very big mess. And today, practically everybody is seeing that mess in which we are. I'll continue to do our best to make sure that we help our people. We're asking for peaceful referendum, self-determination. We're not asking for war. Freedom has nothing to do with war. Freedom is a virtue. I want to be free. It's a natural phenomenon. And we must continue to fight for our people to be free under the umbrella and leadership of Mazen Namdekan, who has proven beyond all reasonable doubt that he's a very honest human being, a committed individual, selfless, and committed to the good and betterment of his people. So, that is a kind of introduction for now. Thank you very much. Fearless voice.
Yes, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, you're highly welcome. Dear friends are listening to your questions, and you have told Biafra already that you are not looking for war. You are just fighting for the freedom of your people. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. Dear friends, you can see Reverend Father Odimmegwa have addressed the first question and very clear that what he's fighting for is not looking for war. He's only fighting as a freedom fighter under Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to free Biafrans for their independence and not for war. Very simple and clear. Let me go to IPOB women leader. I named her Iyom Biafra. Yes. Madam Bridget, today I've named you Iyom Biafra because of your contribution in this very struggle. I have second question to you. I hope, Madam Bridget, are you there?
I am here. I'm listening.
Okay. The second question, many things are flying. Good news, many Biafrans are jubilating, celebrating due to recent order from United Nations. So my second question goes this way. The women leader, IPOB, Madam Bridget, the United Nations organization has ordered Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu immediately and unconditionally. Madam Bridget Okafor, what have you to say about this wonderful victory for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Biafrans?
Thank you very much for that question. Biafran worldwide, it looks like this is the first time you will hear what actually happened. The success and this victory started with my team. And my team comprises of both IPOB women and the gallant men. I know that I have already been asked, why do I have men in my group? And today I'm going to explain to you why. It's true that when Onyendu gave me this position, he told me to gather women, which I did. Within the first 90 days, I was able to gather 187 women here in United States. And we were working as a team. And this comprises of dedicated women who have vision, who have the passion to assist our leader in any way we can to liberate our people. We set goals for ourselves, and we were always able to meet those goals. And by the urge of ambition, we kept on setting different goals. And when I saw the success that we have made as women, which comprised of both IPOB women that swore oaths and non-swearing oaths women who are the Biafran women, I thought in my mind that there may also be men, Biafran men out there, that will have the interest of assisting this struggle and contributing in a larger scale, but for the fact that they do not have any platform to do so, they are reluctant to support the struggle. So based on that, I called our leader one day and requested if he will allow me to also start gathering men as well. He laughed and said to me, "Madam, you want to start gathering men as well?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "What name are you going to call them?" I said to him, "Don't worry about that. I will figure out a name." And I started gathering men of goodwill, those who are very passionate and very dedicated to support our struggle. That is how, eventually, I named them the gallant men of Biafra. and both of us started working together as one body, and they have helped us to achieve a lot of goals. Then coming to the success and the news that we are hearing today. As I read through this news, I cannot forget the fateful day that the IPOB women and the gallant men, we were having meeting together for the DC rally when we wanted to go to the rally at DC for 3 days. And that was on May 22nd, 2021. I cannot forget that day when one of the coordinators, who has probably, as he said, broke this news to most group, and just as he said, he hasn't really seen any tangible result. And when he heard that the IPOB women and their gallant men are having meeting that day, he decided to log in. And when he was giving audience, he started telling us about the Tucano aircraft. And as he was explaining about this Tucano, what it is capable of doing, I couldn't hold myself. All the pictures that was being shown in my head was how they will use this Tucano to clear us off in a twinkle of an eye. I had to drop the meeting and started making calls. I was shaking, I was trembling, and I remember one of us asking me, "We are here for the rally meeting, please, Madam Bridget. Let's proceed with the meeting. Then after that, you can take care of this." I said, "What good is this meeting? What good is this rally if eventually we are going to clear, or they are going to clear our people off in a twinkle of an eye?" The calls that I made that day, I thank God, it became very fruitful. And then the gallant men in that meeting were taking notes and became concerned as well, as I was trembling, and the fear that really caught me hearing about that Tucano. Unknown to me that one of the gallant men, who we call Uncle Max, have already had a great concern about this Tucano. Then in the morning, he called me and he said to me, I remember his very word to me, he said to me, "Madam, don't worry, we have it. We are just looking for a lawyer that will take this up." Then I called Father Augustine Odimmegwa, who is always behind me, who have supported me from day one that I was given this position. And when I called him, I was crying, I was shaking, and I was saying, "We have to do something about this." And both of them started planning and started looking for a lawyer. And eventually, they said that for a case as magnitude as this, we think that Bruce Fenn will be the right person to contact. So they contacted Bruce Fenn, and at this time, we couldn't really do any fundraising or try to figure out where to get the money because it was an emergency. Just the few of us in that group, about 4 of us, has to tax ourselves to provide the needed fund for this case. and eventually Bruce Fenn filed for the Tucano aircraft, which all of you saw, that besides that filing, what we are saying today wouldn't have been the story. Then it was in the process of that filing that we got to know much about what Bruce Fenn can do. However, during that filing, there was a lot of process because that was when our leader was in trouble and we did not know. I cannot get to that because it's going to waste a lot of our time anyway. But the fact is that eventually he filed the Tucano aircraft case, and we know what transpired with that. Then, after that, Bruce Fenn just then enumerated to us what he can do to help us to liberate our leader, as well as proceed in the restoration of Biafra. We all as a group agreed and started working on it. At this point, I will thank my fellow women, the IPOB women, because this was all kept as a secret. I was the only woman, I am the only woman in the group, and I am their leader, but they never knew what was going on because the agreement was to keep it to ourselves until we see the result. The result that we are seeing today was expected to be out in a couple of months because Bruce Fenn, as intelligent and resourceful as he is, he filed it as an emergency filing based on the torture and everything that our leader has been through. But it did not come out as early as we expected. However, that's probably how God wanted it. We had to wait for so long for it to come out. I thank my fellow women for being patient, because most of the time they were asking me, what are we really doing for our leader? And I told them that we are doing something, we are working on it, but they were not really seeing what we were working on. But today, all Biafrans have seen it. We thank God. This is a situation of what is called time and chance colliding together. We thank God that He has provided a way where there is no way, that He has eventually answered our prayer. That's all I have for you at this time until the next question. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, IPOB woman leader, Biafra, Madam Bridget Okafor. You are highly welcome. All Biafrans are listening to your voice as we speak now. I am here to welcome the second question. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, do you have anything to add on this very question, which Madam Bridget, she have already addressed Biafrans, of which I know you have many things to add to the second question. Let me repeat the second question again to Reverend Father Odimmegwa. the United Nations organization has ordered Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu immediately and unconditionally. What have you to say, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, about this wonderful victory for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafrans? Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fearless Voice. You must have noticed that I was really excited to jump into this matter because actually this is one of the highest achievements in this struggle. It is not always very often that you get this type of judgment from United Nations. It doesn't come very often, especially for countries coming from the third world, the so-called third world countries. So we're really excited. I am excited that at the end of the day, the effort put in has paid off. And let me say this. This is an indictment of two countries. Two countries. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is on this side of the bench against two countries and defeated the two countries before the eyes of the world. The world is telling Kenya, you are wrong for the way you treated this man. The world is telling Nigeria, you are wrong for the way you have treated this man. And by extension, Biafrans. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is standing for Biafrans. And indeed, other indigenous peoples of Nigeria. When we're looking at this judgment, or call it mandate, or call it decision, or call it opinion, what we know is that United Nations Working Group, Human Rights Council, is a quasi-legal entity of the United Nations, and their decision is always binding on any nation that is a signatory to that organization, including Nigeria and Kenya. And they have looked at every single submission that we made through Augustine. It was a meticulous process, very, very meticulous. You cannot provide any picture that is old. They have a software by which they check all the pictures you submit to make sure that they are not fake. You cannot submit any documentation that doesn't go with serious clarifications and witnesses. It was a meticulous process. And that was why when you read the indictment of these two countries from the United Nations, the language is so strong because we presented compelling evidence that showed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's human rights were completely abused beyond any stretch of imagination. No legal process was followed. He was in Kenya legally as a British citizen. He wasn't there for any foul business. He was visiting Kenya. He had every right to be there. sudden, they pounced on him, blindfolded him, sent him to an unknown location, chained him to the ground, to the floor, and for 7 good 8 days, 7 horrible days, not even good days, horrible days, this guy was tortured. Tortured. Nobody told him why he was being arrested. After he was, it wasn't even arrest, kidnapping. He was kidnapped. They could not allow him to get in touch with the British embassy in Kenya. They wouldn't allow him to make any phone calls, to contact anybody, no friend, no family, for 8 good days. Talk of man seeing humanity to man. But because this guy is a servant of God, it is nothing short of miracle that Mazen Nnamdi is alive today. That's why it doesn't matter how you look at it. This guy is committed in doing the will of God to free our people. We might have our personal elements, our feelings. We're human beings, jealousy, envy, and all kinds of feelings towards him. But you cannot deny the fact that God is with this man. They blindfolded this guy, put him in a private jet, and sent him down to Nigeria. He hadn't any Nigerian document on him. Sent him to Nigeria and put him in a solitary confinement. This body, the United Nations, told Nigeria, you cannot keep anybody in solitary confinement for more than 15 days. The maximum is 15 days. And today, Mazen Nnamdi has been in solitary confinement for 402 days. 402 days. And then you expect civilized nations to be clapping for Nigeria and Kenya because Mazen Nnamdi has nobody to speak for him. The maximum the international law approves, can accept, the maximum number of days you can give somebody in solitary confinement is 15 days. As a matter of fact, you are supposed to, within 48 hours, you are supposed to push the case to court. But beyond the 15 days, Mazen Nnamdi has stayed in solitary confinement for 402 days, counting today. Today is 27th of July, 2022. Count it, 402 days in solitary confinement. I know somebody who said sometime, I'd rather spend 1 year in prison than spend 1 week in solitary confinement in DSS dungeon. I'd rather spend 1 year in prison, Kuje prison, than spend 1 week in DSS solitary confinement. And Mazen Nnamdi has done it for 402 days. And you are telling me that it is normal? And he is still sound in mind. That's why I tell people, doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. God's hands is very, very prevalent in what we're doing. And so with all the callousness and the wickedness of the Kenyan security forces and Nigerian security forces, I'm not surprised that the United Nations at the end of the day slapped them with this kind of judgment. One of the statements they said, they wrote is this: the working group finds that Mazen Nnamdi has indeed been targeted by the government as a human rights defender on account of his freedom of opinion and expression, as well as his position regarding the sovereignty of Biafra. As Mr. Kano has been targeted on account of his activism in galvanizing momentum for a referendum on the sovereignty of Biafra. Therefore, the working group considers that his detention violates Article 2 and 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and therefore is arbitrary. It is unacceptable. It is unjust. It is criminal. Nigeria and Kenya committed the crimes against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and against, by extension, against Ndigbo, against the Biafrans. Because no matter what they will. And that is why the working group called upon government of Nigeria to take urgent action to ensure the immediate unconditional release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This was a statement delivered on the 20th of this month, July 2022. Every other day, every other minute, hour, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is spending in solitary confinement in Nigeria is a flag. Nigeria is telling the world, go to hell. Nigeria is telling Ndigbo, go to hell. Nigeria is telling Biafrans, go to hell. Any minute, any hour, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stays in that solitary confinement after this statement, because it is clear, immediate, unconditional release. In other words, forget about any lawsuit or any legal process going on is bunkum. And this is the supreme organization in the world that overrides any other legal process in any country. So Nigeria has nothing to claim keeping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in solitary confinement moving forward. And they were so serious about it that they said, they gave out, this is very, very, I've never seen United Nations in this type of position. They gave out follow-up procedure. In 6 months, we want to get a report back from you, Nigeria, whether Mr. Kanu has been released, and if so, on what date? We want to get a report back. And it's not just the government, the Nigerian government, our own group, the sign, will be submitting reports anytime Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still there, going through all these things. He will be feeding the United Nations to let them know Nigeria is not doing what you say. And again, whether compensation or other reparations have been made to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to Mr. Kanu. In other words, it's not just releasing him unconditionally and immediately, but compensation paid. And they have to set up investigation to hold accountable every single security officer involved in the kidnap and the extraordinary rendition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This is a very powerful judgment coming from such a noble organization. I mean, they are not perfect. United Nations is not perfect as an organization. They have their flaws. But once in a while, they show that they can bite and that they know what their responsibility is and should be. In this case, they showed an exemplary. They took an exemplary step to show that they are still who they are, who they claim to be. And we appreciate that. And like Madam Bridget said, we thank Augustine, who worked tirelessly And a few of us, under the leadership of Madam Bridget Okafor, who supported Bruce Fine. Five people. 5. It wasn't easy, financially and otherwise. Then, by extension, we thank IPOB New Jersey. They contributed a lot when it was becoming almost impossible to continue the process financially. They surprised everybody. IPOB New Jersey, under the coordinatorship of Onyekege, very dynamic human being, very honest and straightforward individual. So, fearless boys, I want to let you know that this is a huge victory for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a huge victory for Ndigbo, a huge victory for Biafrans. If after this, somebody is still standing on the fence, wondering what is going on, then that person, I don't know how to describe such a person. Because the whole world has told us that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not leading a terrorist organization. That he is a freedom fighter. And freedom fighting is enshrined in the United Nations Charter. And Nigeria is a signatory to it. And Kenya is a signatory to it. And they have no right to treat him as they did. So it's a huge victory for us. And we, Biafrans, Igbos, should stand on this mandate and fight aggressively, do everything possible to make sure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released today, tomorrow, and not beyond that. Nigeria doesn't need to go through any other legal process to get him out. No. The mandate is from above. Immediately and unconditionally. The language is clear. So any other protocols they are trying to live, they are telling us that you can do nothing. And it's a slap on our face. We're not going to take it. So, once again, this is a huge achievement, and we thank God in a special way, because at the point, we are kind of losing hope. But we have to keep the hope alive, because we know that God is with us. We are fighting for justice. God is the God of justice. He's the God of truth. We're standing by the truth of what we know. And that is why today, God has borne testimony to what we have been fighting for. And it is a motivation and encouragement to all of us to keep up the flag flying, to keep the flag flying, and keep the flame blowing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa. God bless you. Continue your goodwill. Continue your effort and your sacrifice you are doing to support the foundation of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. God bless you, Reverend Father Odimmegwa. Chukwu okike abịama gbagume. I have third questions. Third question I have for you. I can understand Reverend Father Odimmegwa and IPOB women leader, Madam Bridget Okafor. Number 3 question directly goes for 2 of you. So any of you can go ahead and answer the question. Number 3, I understand that two of you, Reverend Father Augustine Odimmegwa and Madam Bridget, are part of the team that worked with Attorney Bruce Fenn to achieve this wonderful victory for us. What is your relationship with Bruce Fenn in this struggle? Please, any of you can come up with this question. Thank you.
Yeah, madam, go ahead.
Okay. Just like I said in the beginning, initially, I did not know Bruce Fenn, but I know that he is the Deputy Attorney General of United States. I have no relationship with him at all. But as you know, necessity is the mother of invention. When we heard about this Tucano and the fact that it will require a lawsuit against the United States, we should be thinking of the caliber of lawyer that will be able to take up this case and deal with it. And there is no other than a lawyer of this category. And we sought out to find out the best and the most qualified lawyer to take it up. On that regard, I have a special thanks to one of the gallant men, Mazi Ben Wankwo, who was, during the time that me and Father Odimmegwa were, and Uncle Max and one other gallant man was researching Dr. Remy. I didn't know what to call his name anyway. However, so we are researching to find out the best lawyer to take up this case. Then during the conversation, when Brother Ben was included in the conversation, and you know how men behave. They started talking, I was just listening to them, and they started talking about politics. And from politics, Bruce Fenn's name was mentioned regarding the case. And Mazi Ben Wankwo said that he knows him. If we want to contact him, that he can help us connect him. So that was how Bruce Fenn was connected. You know, in this life, I have believed in time and chance. Time and chance, most of the time, God set up time and chance to individual. You can imagine why in the Bible, the blind Bartimaeus, when he heard of Jesus coming, and he was screaming for help, and the crowd was shutting him down, and he was saying, and he shouted the more. The more they shut him down, the more he shouted. Just like I said, I cannot forget that fateful day. May 22nd, 2021. That shout of fear, that shout of cry, that trembling, I cannot forget it. That sleepless night I passed that night, I will never forget it. That horrible picture that I have in my head, that was the chance and the time. That was when God was telling me, you need to do something. And as a registered nurse, registered midwife, naturally, I am an advocate. I advocate for people. And I thank God for giving me the strength and courage to be able to advocate for my people on that fateful night. I also thank the gallant men, every single one of them were choosing angels. Sometime in the meeting, it was really very difficult. I cannot tell you, you can't imagine what we went through during that period of time, financially and otherwise. How these men taxed themselves without minding. When I watch what they did in those days, it marvels me. How Bruce Fenn himself humbled himself. We all saw him. He was going to Nigeria. How many times? About 5 times that he went. I remember when he was going the first time, I asked him, Bruce, are you scared? Are you concerned about your safety? And he said, well, somebody has to do it. And if it has to be him, so be it. And that is where we are today. I thank every single individual that made this a success. I thank my husband for being so supportive, because most of the time when I come back, and in fact, I do not like to talk about our leader, because each time I start talking about him, I cannot help being emotional. All I decide to do is to do whatever I can and not talk about him. I just cannot stand the torture he went through. Most of those horrible pictures, I do not even like to look at them. I thank especially the IPOB women, especially the core members who stood by me so strongly, no shaking. Even when I don't have anything to tell them, they were still patient. So I did not know Bruce Fenn. It's just time and chance and the desperation and the passion that I have for my people. Right from childhood, I have always been an advocate. I did not know that today I will be able to advocate even for a nation. So I thank God for all those who supported my fears and my anxiety that has led to this today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, IPOB women leader, Madam Bridget Okafor. Dear friends, they are listening to your own view and what you are saying right now to undermine Biafrans, to acknowledge things they do not know. And you have said it all, that many who were asking questions, who to follow, who not to follow. I think it's time, after listening to your voice, they must know and acknowledge the 100 men that mentioned by Mazen Namdoku Kanu. They are doing wonderful work for Biafrans. And I must say this on my own to you, Madam Bridget. I have to say thank you so much for your hard work and your goodwill, your contribution you have done so far for Biafrans. You have made history as a woman. There is no doubt. God will continue to strengthen you, empower you, and give you more grace to continue to lead Biafran women all over the world. Thank you once again, Madam Bridget.
Thank you very much.
Reverend Father Odimmegwa, yes, the third question. Shall I repeat the third question to you? Or you should, you know, or you can remember to add anything you feel you can add to support what Madam Bridget have said about the number 3 question. But in any case, let me repeat it to you. I understand that 2 of you, Reverend Father Odimmegwa and Madam Bridget, are part of the team that worked with Attorney Bruce Fenn to achieve this wonderful victory for us. In this case, Reverend Father Augustine Odimmegwa, what is your relationship with Bruce Fenn in this struggle? Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa.
Yeah, thank you very much, the fearless voice. Let me say this. One of the reasons why I believe that this struggle for the restoration of Biafra is a divine mission is because every state, since I became an active member of the struggle, 2018, counting, every step of the way, when the ship seems to be capsizing, God will provide 1 or 2 people who will become the saving grace, the savior of the struggle, every step of the way. I'm sure that many of us don't even know that the person who took the video of the Python dance was one of the soldiers. One of the soldiers. And that was what woke up the consciousness of the world, including my own, in a very special way. And one of the boys was one of the soldiers. How did it happen? God planted that soldier among the soldiers and planted in him the seed of conscience, the seed of empathy that made him to start recording what his colleagues were doing to innocent boys, their friends. That was a divine intervention, because it became a landmark in any case being held against Nigeria on this matter. Whose fine came to the picture as a gift from God when we were lost. Let me tell you, friends, this Tucano of a thing is not just ordinary helicopter gunboat. It's a sophisticated super military equipment from more than 20,000 feet above the sea level, whether during the day or at night. These Tucanos have razor beam that they can, the person piloting it can see a goat walking around inside the forest at the dead of the night, very dead in the night. Whether day or night, 20,000 feet above sea level. And then has all the sophisticated equipments. If he wants to kill that very sheep or goat, he'll just aim at it and kill it. Razor focused. If he wants to kill a group of people, all he needs to do is just to set up the parameter and then drop the bomb, and that area will be leveled. So, and Nigeria was ordering 12 of them. With one of them, Nigeria could have wiped out ESN wherever they were in the forest in a day, with just one of them. Whether they want to operate at night or during the day. So the danger was too much. It was so scary. So we started scouting for a lawyer that will be able to sue American government in American land, and who would be honest enough, because sometimes, forget about all these things they talk about, white and black. Whatever you find in the bottom of the mail is also in the bottom of the nwea. The same thing and tempest. What you see among our lawyers back home, you see it also here. They can play by both sides. So we needed somebody who would be honest, committed, and be able to hold American government to task and stop the delivery of that Tucano. So it was difficult to get somebody like Bruce. From nowhere, the name popped up. And we researched on him and found out that he had worked with Onyendu before, and they went check. So we started looking for him. That was how we got in touch with Engineer Ben Wangwo. He said, yeah, that he used to know him, but it was a while ago that he communicated with him. He doesn't know whether his phone number would go through. And lo and behold, he called and he picked up. He scheduled a meeting, met with him, and eventually he met with us as a group. And then, even before we started, he was telling us everything about Biafra. We were shocked. And I was telling myself, thank God that it seemed that the Savior has come. So the only question I asked him was, Bruce, this is an uphill task. Nigeria has a lot of money throwing around, bribing everybody frontally. left and right. What happens if you start this case and Nigeria comes around with millions of dollars? What's going to happen? And he said that this is a passion for him. He's no more doing it for money. He has worked to defend countries in South America, in East Europe, in Africa, to defend them, people who have been downtrodden. So it's a passion for him, and not just as a profession. He said, oh my goodness. Eventually we negotiated with him. The Tucano was a huge success. To the extent that the Americans, the State Department, the Secretary of State, had to go to Nigeria to tell Nigeria, we are giving you the Tucano. We have a court judgment hanging on our neck. You cannot use this Tucano outside the northeast and northwest. Those are the areas where we know the terrorists are. Not in the south, not in the west. Clearly. And that was why the millions spent on those Tucanos wasted, because they are lying faro there. Any day Nigeria tries to use it, America will disable it from the air, from remotely. Because American government knows that there is a judgment hanging on their neck. Thanks to God who provided Bruce Fine and Bruce Fine's commitment. So when the process of that, when our leader was kidnapped and renditioned to Nigeria, and there and then we knew that there was no kind of legal process locally in Nigeria that will cut the deal. We had no option to start negotiating with Bruce again. It was an expensive deal. But guess what? Once there is a will, there is a way. God provided these guys, especially Maxwell Dede, who was willing to commit half of all his assets to make sure that we succeed. He futed more than 70% of all the financial costs involved in all these full spend legal processes. Single-handedly. A few times we tried to do fundraising. I think it was only twice thereabout. And how much we didn't even make up to 10,000 because of all the calumnies and all the jealousies and all the, I don't know.
7,000. That's what
only 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it take? It costs to transport Bruce to Nigeria. 7,000 is nothing. But these individuals remained committed and said, we're going to see to the end of it. This United Nations case was filed as far back as October last year. Bruce had to fly into Geneva, spend a day to make oral defense on this matter, which was very, very unusual because this group, this body, you don't even know them. You can't have their phone number, you can't have their email. Everything you do is electronically because they don't want any country to bribe them. Nobody knows them. But this man so put this case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's extraordinary rendition that these people could not believe what they were reading. They had to invite him physically to come. He went there and spent days, and he blew their mind. The amount of injustice that was being meted out of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for nothing. So since then, we've been working closely with him, following up on this case and other cases that are out there on the international arena, legal arena. It's not going to stop. We're not stopping until Biafra is restored. It's not even until Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released. No, until Biafra is restored. I said at the beginning, freedom is not a call for war. We are seeking legal and peaceful process to self-determination, to referendum. All the legal processes known to law, we are exploring all of them with roots on the international level. While our colleagues are doing their own on the local ground, on the local level. We will continue to fight until we have a date for referendum. And then we'll go and vote and decide our fate as a people. We want to prove to the Fulanis they have no right to say that they have what it takes to determine our fate and our future. We are going to tell Britain, doesn't matter how sophisticated you are, military and otherwise, you have no right to determine the fate of Biafrans. We were created by God, not by Britain, not by anybody. And we have the inalienable right as a people to be free. It is a God-given gift. It is a God-given mandate. And God always cherishes people's freedom. So it doesn't matter what any country is doing, Britain, France, whatever they are. Biafra will come because we have paid enough price for it. Official statistics, 3.5 million between 1967 and 70, and still counting. And people are still being killed like crazy. And you're telling me that God is going to keep quiet? All it takes is a good number of people, committed individuals, breaking the conscience of God, keeping God awake on our faith and on our case. It's going to be a matter of time. But surely it will come. I don't have any doubt in my mind that it will come. So, the manifestation of Bruce Stein in this case is a miracle, is a gift from God. And let me say this now. Madam Bridget is a gift. Madam Bridget Okafor is a gift to this struggle. I have never seen a straightforward human being, very honest, very committed. Even when we men, 5 or 4 in the group, sometimes we feel like, what the heck is it? She will apply every possible means to keep us going. Sometimes she will cry. And then everybody will be like, okay, don't worry, madam, calm down. Madam. She is a gift to Biafra. Mukaba is a Nando. And I'm saying it, and I'm happy that our leader knows it. And I want to commend her, to tell her to keep it up.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa. And that is the reason I named her IPOB of Biafrans. Well, we are coming to closing time. We thank you for your approach, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, and your contribution in this very struggle. Yes, IPOB women leader, Madam Bridget, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Many things and questions was coming since IPOB women USA started fighting seriously for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in every means, and to support ESN. in every means to make sure that this struggle still very strong the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu left it. Now, I can understand many Biafrans, IPOB members, they were asking questions that women, IPOB women, was created for women and not for men. So many of them are calling me, sending messages. Why IPOB women bring in men among them? Please, IPOB women leader, what do you have to say about this to Biafrans?
Okay. That's an interesting question. Yes, of course. When our leader gave me this position in 2019, what he said was to gather women. And that was what I did initially. To further answer this question, for whatever reason, I cannot explain, but after this position was given to me, I started working like, I can't even explain what is in my head. It's like from one success, things started popping into my head, what to do. And I thank God that I have dedicated women. Even if I tell them we have to jump, they jump. I tell them we have to run, we run, because they have the same passion like me. So we have a lot of achievements. And the more achievements we have, the more goals we set for ourselves. Just like I nicknamed myself Elemehem Nyama. That was what I did. Don't ask me why, but that's where I found myself. You know, in this life, for us women, no matter how we boast, no matter how the success that we make, sometimes it is never complete, except the men get involved. Like myself, in my home, no matter what I did today, I know very well that if my husband wasn't around to encourage, to help, I will not be able to do even half of it. So also, at a point in the history of IPOB women in USA, I found the need to include men who, just like I said before, may be interested in supporting this struggle in a larger scale, but because they do not have any platform. And exactly this is what I said to our leader, what I'm telling you now, that because they don't have any platform, they are really not coming up to supporting the struggle as much as they would like to. That was when I requested to include men, and it was that is the best thing that has ever happened in IPOB, and I thank God that our leader had the insight to allow me to do that. And these were hand-picked men, and he did have. I can understand his concern. When he did not immediately say, yes, okay, go ahead and do it. But when he asked me who is going to manage this group, How am I sure that when money start coming in, that there wouldn't be the politics from men and all that? I said to him, I will take care of it. He said, okay. And as we have seen today, we have seen what the gallant men have done. Without them, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere. We wouldn't have gotten anywhere at all. So Biafrans can see that the gallant men are the men who are really doing the work. The women, we are guiding them. We are helping them and making sure that they do the work. And we are looking for more gallant men who will come up to continue, because the fight still continues. It just started. So we are looking for more gallant men to join us. And thank God, our leader recognized these gallant men when he saw what they are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Madam Bridget. God bless you. Yes, I have last question to Reverend Father Odimmegwa. Yes, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, please, I have a question for you. And this very question, many Biafrans were confused, trouble everywhere. As an elder, you are, sir, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, in IPOB family. Biafrans could remember during the time of Uchemofo problem. You were the one that stood up. Single-handed, you quenched the fire overnight. So as an elder in IPOB family, registered, how do you prescribe the silence of DOS? Because DOS was the strongest foundation made by Mazi Nnamdi Opukano. He left DOS to continue where he stopped. I was first person who was not happy with DOS. I myself, Fearless Voice, because of their silence and dormant with Radio Biafra. So, as an elder, what do you have to say to the DOS silence? Second, everybody acknowledged Simon Ekpa confusion, deceiving Biafrans here and there. We must not leave anything behind. My platform have this privilege today with people like you, great people like you. So as an elder, where Simon Epa always claim victory using advantage, using intimidation, using criminality, bringing disaster, confusion everywhere. So how do you address this type of people? Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa.
Okay. Fearless voice. This is a hard nut to crack. Because I mean, let me put it this way. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. It is normal that when the leader of a group is captured, the natural tendency is for people to be scouting for direction, to be scouting for which way to go. Very, very natural. Especially in the way and manner our leader was taken away from us. It was shocking. It took a lot of people aback, including myself. At the same time, after a couple of months of his rendition, I have to be honest with you and to Biafrans. I told my son, God knows how to write straight on a crooked line. God can write straight on a crooked line. And because this struggle is a mission from God, and God is still in charge, I think the extraordinary rendition of our leader is a way of exposing we IPOB members and Biafrans. God found a way to expose us, those who are genuine and those who are not genuine, those who are committed and those who are not committed, those who are focused and those who are not focused, those who are coming with any kind of ulterior motive into the struggle. That's why you see people scouting and trying to. People started fighting for positions. People started fighting for money. People started fighting for name, fame. So it was a very good test that God put to us. And guess what? It now made some of us to understand exactly what Odimmegwa meant when he said that he's looking for 100 men. Point of correction, fearless voice. I don't think I'm one of the 100 men.
You are 100% one of the 100 men. Point of correction. Please, you must have to admit that you are one of 100 men.
Yeah, when he comes out, then we'll be able to understand more what he means by that.
Whether he comes out, he must come out by the grace of God. He must.
Absolutely.
By the Chukwu Kikabiama. In the name of Chukwu Kikabiama, he's coming out.
Absolutely.
You are one of the 100 men because he knew that something will happen.
Okay.
And that is the reason he projected 100 men. So you are number 100 men he mentioned. The strongest disciple under Mazenam de Kukan. You are. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Like I said, These things will be clearer when he comes out. But we have started seeing, having an idea what he means that by that 100 men. And that 100 men he meant is real. So, months after the extraordinary rendition, practically a lot of people were still scouting for direction, including the DOS. And I must say this, from the one I have said it, only to set up the office of DOS. And we are bound in conscience to respect that office. It doesn't matter how much we disagree with what the members of DOS are doing, or some members, not all of us, some members are doing. We must respect that office. It's just like saying, oh, this American president is the worst in history. It doesn't make Americans to hate the office of the presidency. They might quarrel with the president. They might hate the president. They might not even want to hear the name of that president. His opinion poll might plunge to single digits. But Americans still love and respect the office of the presidency. The same thing with the DOS. Whether they are keeping quiet when they are supposed to be talking, or they are talking when they are supposed to be keeping quiet, or they are saying a lot of things that don't add up. It doesn't matter how we read what they are doing. We must respect that office. There is no doubt that some of them have made certain statements that are not acceptable. There's no doubt that sometimes their silence in the face of all the killings in Biafra land can be very, very disturbing. No doubt about it. But it doesn't remove the importance of that office. The only thing I will tell them, if you are in a position and you feel that you are not competent to occupy that position, resign. Do not allow people to be castigating that position because of you. It's not good. It's not healthy. We are looking for a nation where truth, justice, and fairness will be the order of the day. If you are occupying a position and you know that you are unfit by any stretch of imagination, and you are still occupying it, you are not representing the spirit of Biafra. It doesn't matter who you are. That is a word of caution I'm giving to everybody who is occupying any office in IPOB. Be careful. That office given to you is a way of testing what Biafra will look like. And you are supposed to carry that office with dignity, honesty, truthfulness, justice, and fairness. That's what I can say there.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa.
Coming to Simon Eber.
Okay.
It's just because you have asked me this question, because I always resisted the temptation to address individuals in this struggle. Why? Because in every freedom fighting, there is no one straight road to the destination. There are always divergent routes to the end. And oftentimes, we hope and pray at the end it justifies the means. I mean, I have listened a lot of times to what Simon Eber is saying. Most often he has powerful message. And I have been in a meeting once or twice with him, and I expressed it to him. And like you asked me, because I don't like to dodge people's questions. I don't like to dodge questions. especially when I understand what you're saying, that sometimes people go out of themselves to go and claim people's glory. Believe you me, when we were working together with Bruce, and as we continue to work with him, we are razor focused. Oftentimes, I struggle to listen to all your broadcasts. That is the one that I can vouch that I have listened to more than 95% of all your broadcasts. Sometimes, even when I'm in the shower, I turn my speaker open. I have a mobile portable speaker. I use my Bluetooth. I turn it so loud that even when I'm taking shower, I'm listening to you. Because you don't have time to listen to others. Something, I'm listening to him. You know? But where I started having a problem, and I have to be honest, to be friends with Simon Ekpa, is when they started doing fundraising for ESN during the time of Nelly Ofebu and Madam Oyibo.
Okay.
They were doing fundraising.
Okay.
They were making a lot of money. And I know that women called a meeting one time. I am their patron. And they got me into the meeting. We were just the women and myself and the Simon Ekpa in the meeting. They were advising on many things, especially the issue of ESN came up as fundraising for ESN. So, and Simon was answering a lot of their questions, and they're listening to their advice. But when it came to ESN, I missed all the questions and the concerns the women were raising, and which he was addressing. Madam Oyibo was not there, Nelly was not there. I had the opportunity to ask Simon Ekpa, and I said, Simon, that when you say that you are taking care of ESN, I am troubled. I like to know which ESN and which units are you taking care of? And Simon told me, and told the group, that yes, when they started with 7 units, 7 camps. I think he either used the word unit or camp. And now that they are taking care of 14 camps. I said 14 camps, he said yes. I told Simon, do you know that Imo State alone has more than 14 camps?
Imagine.
Imo State alone.
Pure truth.
I said, so if you are taking care of only 14 camps, you are not even taking up to one state. And
that means automatically he don't know what he's doing. He don't even know his left and right and center. Go ahead, sir.
So I said, we have at least 10 states where we have ESN operatives. You're not even taking care of one. And there isn't tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars from fundraising. So where is the money going? He didn't answer the question because he was surprised when I told him that Imo State alone has more than 14 camps. He was surprised. And then I told him, I said, look, I'm advising you as a fellow man. It is on your name that people are contributing when you organize fundraising with Nelly and Madam Oyibo. But it looks to me that you raise this money, you don't even know how this money is spent by Madam Oyibo and Nelly. I said, from what I have listened to here. And then I told him, this Madam Bridget you see here, because this was a Zoom meeting, if I don't know what Madam Bridget is doing, if he's not giving me up to date what she's doing, especially when it has to do with money, I can never defend her anywhere. I said, here you are, defending Nelly and Madam Oyibo whereas you don't even know exactly what they're doing. I will advise you to be more careful and more cautious. Make sure you know exactly where the money you are raising is going, because that money is coming on your name and the name of EFF. That was how I ended it. Until, the rest is history with Madam Oyibo and them. So, that area is where I have a serious problem. But you know what? The only thing I can tell my brother time on it, if I name more, and that catch put name, this is the divine mission.
Okay.
Be very, very careful, because if you are doing anything for any group in this struggle, make sure that group, that whatever money is raised goes to that group, and through the proper channel. It's not enough that you say it, because a lot of people believe in you, and you have the onerous obligation to make sure that you don't disappoint them, that you live up to the expectation. That is a responsibility we all owe our people who believe and trust in us. That's a candid advice I give him. Let him make sure that whatever he's doing is right before God and man. Because amateurs are going mile, and the when get is here now, nobody knows tomorrow. That's all I can say there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your word advice to Biafrans. As senior elder, IPOB, high-ranking officer, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, thank you very much. Yes, IPOB women leader, Madam Bridget Okafor, I have last question for you.
Okay.
We Biafrans, we acknowledge the death of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu guidance. Madam Bridget, are you there?
I'm here, I'm listening.
We Biafrans worldwide, including the world today, acknowledged the death of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu guidance. And every Biafrans acknowledged the sacrifice the leader, indigenous people of Biafra, was doing in order for us to achieve Biafra. Finally, he was kidnapped in Kenya by the help of Igbo Biafrans, including Rivers State Governor Wike, including Odimmegwa, Devil Mai, just because of 2023 election, presidential election. Finally, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was brought from Kenya down to Nigeria, Abuja, DSS. The same Igbo elite politicians begin to share money, all the IPOB family members, in order to blackmail and quench destroy the foundation Mazen Namdokukan in every means that leaded, that sit at home, was promised Biafrans, agitators, believers, freedom fighters by Biafran Igbo elites, politicians, for Anambra election. Let's give them that benefit of doubt. Finally, they failed. I hope, Madam Bridget, are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Now,
I'm waiting for you to.
Now, today, they promised the Biafrans that as soon as they lift, sit at home, sanction, that they must work to see that Mazen Namdokukan is released from DSS. Finally, up to this time, they are busy campaigning for 2023 election without going for Mazen Namdokukan, without discussing how to bring him out. Not even talking about how Biafrans will have their referendum. Now today, in Biafran land, many are now talking about 2023 election. Our elite politicians abandon Mazen Namdokukan, a great warrior, God sent, Jesus Christ of our time, a man that the whole world recognized as a freedom fighter. Our Savior was abandoned by our elite politicians. Today, God, Chukwu Okike Abiama, used your team, including Reverend Father Odimmegwa, to locate former Deputy Attorney General Bruce Fine. My question is this. Finally, today, our elite politicians are no more discussing about how to release Mazen Namdokukan until United Nations now come up by the effort of petition by Attorney Bruce Fine and ordered and they now ordered Zoo Nation, which so many of you called Nigerian Nation, and myself called Fulani Nation. Now today, how do you address your own Biafrans, Madam Bridget Okafor, those your brothers and sisters today, elite politicians, Ohaneze Ndị Igbo, governors, senators, they are fighting for 2023 election. Now today, the United Nations, they are the one that come up to challenge Zoo Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. So, Madam Bridget Okafor, how do you address those foolish ones? Yes, I have to call them foolish ones. That is talking about 2023 election, whereby United Nations have taken their position, which they are the one responsible to talk about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu released. Their responsibility, they ignored their responsibility, which now UN have taken control. So how do you address such idiotic mentality people? Madam Bridget Okafor.
Thank you very much. In fact, personally, when I think about our brothers, the governors and the elites, they call themselves elites back home. Since I had this position, and I have considered everything that they have done to us, I don't even want to talk about them anymore. That is how I feel. How I feel is for us just to do what we have to do. Because it's a pity that with the hate speech of Ahmadu Bello in 1961, whereby he said that he will never allow us to control our future. And if it is not through these our brothers, they will never succeed with what they are doing to us today, that control of our future. It is actually them, these governors, senators, they are the one that has prevented us from controlling our future. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend them with what I have to say now. I don't really think that they are in their right senses. I don't know if they are still human beings. Because sometimes I marvel and I ask myself, if their plan is for the Fulanis to kill all of their own people, do they mean that when everybody is slaughtered and killed and the Fulani take over the land, then they are going to inhabit the land with the Fulanis? I'm still trying to figure out the answer to this question and what is actually their intent and what they think. But one thing is sure, that for them to have this position, as we know, they are taken to the north, to the Fulanis, and we do not know what they do to them. The devil is very strong in this world, no matter, regardless. God gave the devil his power. think that whatever they are doing it with their right senses. So because of that, for me, I do not have any regard to what they are doing. When they are killing our people and our people are turning around and saying, oh, our governors are keeping quiet, what do you expect? They cannot say anything. The Fulanis have them in their wings. If they say anything, they will be killed. For me, I do not have any regard at all. I may be wrong. I don't have any regard at all for what they do or what they say. Because they are directly under the control of the Fulanis. The Fulanis tell them what to do, and that is the only thing that they can do. And it's a shame. It's a pity. Because this was all planned under the OIC agenda for the Fulanis to indicate for us who will rule us. Even though that they are there as Igbos, in the actual fact, they are working for the Fulanis. They are not working for us. That is where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes in. That is why God has raised him. He is the only one that understood from the right time, from early as the time that they started planning this. He has educated us what they are and what to expect. And you may not be satisfied with my answer, but for me, I don't have any regard for what they are doing. I don't. I am just hoping. That is why, since after the rendition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I do not think that I will have any rest until he comes out. But as for the Igbo politicians, they are Fulanis. They are not our brothers and sisters. They were destroyed before they were given this position. They are working for the Fulanis. They are not working for us. They are not representing us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Bridget, IPOB woman leader. God bless you. Continue burning the light. Yes. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, what advice or encouragement can you give generally, both home and abroad, Biafrans worldwide?
Okay, thank you very, very much. I believe, I guess once you get to this point, it means that we are winding down. So let me begin by thanking you very, very much, fearless voice.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa,
for the invitation you sent out to us to appear in your platform. In all honesty, I can count a number of invitations, people who have wanted to interview me, both before and after Onyendu was renditioned, and I turned them down. Why? Because before ever I come to your platform, I must be sure that I understand what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
I must be sure that you are working for Biafrans and not just you looking for a way to keep popularity. I can never fall for it. So I accepted to appear in your platform because I've listened to you. I've listened to you more than I listen to any other program on a daily basis. And I have convinced myself beyond all reasonable doubt that you are honest, you are straightforward, you are a straight shooter, you don't paint anything. It is either black or white. It is either yes or no.
Thank you very much, Reverend for Odimmegwa.
So, I wish to thank you in a special way on behalf of the Biafrans for your consistency, doggedness, commitment, resoluteness in this to this struggle, and your steadfastness in projecting the mission of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which United Nations is also bearing witness today. So thank you very much, Jealous Voice.
God bless you, Reverend for Odimmegwa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You have been tested for all this 1 year that the Onyendu has been incarcerated. You have remained consistent. Just keep up the same spirit. And permit me to thank one more person. He's such a wonderful person. I have never seen a husband like that. I am being frank. I'm not exaggerating. Mr. Tony Okafor, the husband of Madam Bridget Okafor. 99.9% of the sacrifice Madam Bridget is making to Biafrans is because of the type of husband she has in the person of Tony Okafor. Very humble, very wise, very, very understanding, very unassuming. I've met with him several times, and I can vouch that there are only very few of such persons in this world. And I want to point out one particular incident, because when even I told you, I talk here, I am a testament to the wonderful spirit this man has. His last born, a boy of 20-something years old, was rushed to emergency and was about to be operated upon, surgery, serious surgery. And lo and behold, in 2 days' time, Madam Bridget and the women had already scheduled a rally in Washington, D.C. for Biafrans before the British Embassy. And the issue was, there was no way Madam Bridget could leave the child in the emergency room and go to rally. And many people were flying, many women were flying from across America. Some were going to fly for 5-6 hours to come to Washington, D.C. And of course, everybody is looking at Madam Bridget. Everybody will be looking for Madam Bridget for every single direction, both men and women. And it was a huge dilemma for the family. And Madam Bridget was still trying to figure out how she could accommodate the two challenges. When she called me to tell me about it, I was like, I didn't want to tell her my feeling or whatever, because I was wondering, why would you be considering the two? My friend, face your child. Call somebody to take up the challenge in Washington, D.C. and take a position and mobilize the women and the rally on your behalf. This is understood. This is what I was telling. This was what was going through my mind. But somehow I asked her, what do you want? What do you think? And she said, it's difficult, but I wish I can accommodate the two. I don't know how it will work out if I'm not there in Washington, D.C. I said, well, discuss it with your husband. She said, I said, have you discussed it with your husband? She said, no, but she's going to do that. And she's trying to figure out the best way to do it, address it to him. And eventually, she called me back to say that her husband told her, well, I cannot drop you off to Washington, D.C. as we planned before. If you are insistent on going, I have no problem. You just have to find a way to be there yourself. And Madam Bridget, is a sigh of relief. And she called me back late in the night and told me this is what the husband said. I said, okay, tell your husband that I will come from New Jersey very early in the morning, pick you up, and then take you to D.C. We'll drive to D.C. and be there before 9 o'clock. And then in the evening, after the rally, I will bring you back so that you go and relieve your husband in the hospital. Fearless voice. You can't believe that this was what we did for 3 days. It was at the end that the women, some of them started knowing that this woman who has been mobilizing them all through these rallies for the past 3 days, that her son just had a very major surgery and is still in the emergency, the ICU. Some of them could not believe it. This is what it means to be committed. It's not a question on the social media. This woman took time, understood her husband, worked on her husband. And her husband respects her opinion every blessed day, as far as Biafra is concerned. And that's why she has time to do all this. So, on behalf of Biafrans, I wish to thank Tony Okafor, the husband of Madam Bridget Okafor. I keep saying it. And I will respect that person. That singular decision that night gave me the depth of appreciation, the kind of family these people have built. And Biafrans will never forget it. That said, let me tell Biafrans, you said I should encourage, you said encouragement?
Yes.
Or advice, okay.
Advice and encouragement.
Thank you very much. I want to tell Biafrans, look, our leader is incarceration. There is no doubt that it is challenging for us. But
yes.
This is a trying moment. This is a time for us to prove who we are to our leader. A friend in need is a friend indeed. This is the time for us to prove to Biafrans that we understand what we are doing. It's not a time to scramble for position. It's not a time to scramble for money. It's not a time to scramble for popularity. No. Freedom fighting is not a social club. It's not jamboree. It's a very serious, heart-wrenching business. And it's not something that we can toy with. So, it is true that our leader is incarcerated for more than 1 year now in solitary confinement. We must not lose focus. He has taught us everything we need to know. We must remain focused, fighting for the same goal and mission. People can come from different directions. I keep telling the people I speak with, everybody must not do it the same way. People can come from many directions. Most of the freedom fighters in the modern times We have fought from many angles. Israeli, they did not always, all of them did not agree on exactly what needed to be done. Some of them wanted something that had the religious dimension, Zionists. Some of them wanted to engage international commitment. Some people wanted to harness the local effort, the people, empower the people and let them fight for their freedom. They were able to accommodate all that. The same thing here in America. Martin Luther King was more on the political and diplomatic angle. Malcolm X said, you know what? If we continue like this, we'll all die. I need to get some people together. Let's fight back. Fire for fire. And both of them put together gave the civil liberty the success it had. So, but what we cannot afford to do is to start attacking ourselves. If somebody is not doing the right thing, tell the person you are not doing the right thing and then move on. Don't dwell on telling the person every day. You are telling the person that you're not doing. If that person does anything that is wrong, attack that thing the person did. And then move on. We must remain focused. We're heading to one direction. If somebody is consistently putting a stumbling block to the group, the person knows exactly what he's doing. It's unfortunate. Because the mistake we can make is to think that all of us are working for the restoration of Biafra. It's not true. We have seen it all. There are people who are working against the restoration of Biafra. But what happens is that because this is a divine mission, they will always meet their Waterloo. They will pay for it. So, with this mandate from United Nations, I'm encouraging Biafrans. This is a huge achievement, a huge mandate. We should be motivated. We should be happy. We should be energized. Every facet of our people, even the so-called elders, I don't think we have leaders in Igbo land anymore. I'm sorry, I don't have any apologies to spare because we cannot have leaders and people are being massacred like chicken. And you're telling me we have leaders? No, we don't. We have elders. We have politicians. We have all kinds of people out there. For leadership, I don't think we do. Because my people perish for lack of vision. And what is vision? Leadership. We are dying because we don't have leadership. We are dying because the only leader we have is now incarcerated. When Mazen Nabekano was out here with us, what could they do? What could they do? Now he's incarcerated. They're butchering our people, like massacring everybody. Young men. But we must not lose hope. We must keep fighting. The darkest end of the night comes with the dawn. It's only a matter of persistence, commitment. But I want to let our people know, this thing happening in Abuja is not a child's play. We must take it seriously. I know that Senator Shehu Sani said it some time ago. I wish I can remember. He did say it some time ago. I think I noted this down somewhere. Yes, precisely on November 4th, 2021. And he said, this is Senator Shehu Sani, the Kaduna Central Senatorial District and President of Civil Rights Congress of Nigeria. He said, very soon, referring to the terrorists, very soon they will take over Asorok and hoist their flag, Boko Haram and ISWAP. Of course, there will be no resistance because the Fulani military are in cahoots with them. All the high command of the military are already under the control of the Fulani, and they will easily link up with with their terrorist brothers in Boko Haram and IPOB. It will look like a military coup, but it will become obvious soon that this is not the kind of military coup Nigerians are known to have when they start issuing their Islamic martial law. Boko Haram and IPOB are inching into Asarok to take over that government. And we will be face to face with the stark reality of what is happening in Afghanistan. Terrorists running a government. And our people are still moving around and behaving as if nothing is happening. This is dangerous. Our people must wake up. We must wake up. Because now, we must wake up, I repeat. We must wake up and make hay while the sun shines. Because before we know it, it might be too late. A stitching time says 9. But if we don't know where it started, we may never know when our whole body is wet. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. What is happening in Abuja is real, and it will be only a matter of a little effort. They will take over Sorok. These terrorists have succeeded in severing communication between Kaduna and Abuja. They destroyed the train transportation, destroyed the road transportation. The other time they surrendered at Kaduna Airport. And all they need to do is just to make sure that there is no counter force from Kaduna. Take over Abuja. And as soon as they take over Abuja, you and I will be witnessing an unprecedented terrorist organization right now. And you know what they do? They will begin by shutting down all the international airports. If nobody comes in, nobody goes out. And the rest will be history. Before we know it, it will be difficult to send money down to Nigeria from abroad. They will go through the bank and stop everything. And then everybody will be in a mess. You think you're comfortable overseas, in diaspora, abroad, you think you're comfortable with your family, wait until these things begin to happen. Wait until it begins to happen. Let us go and ask the Afghanistan what they went through and what they're still going through as Christians in Afghanistan. My prayer and hope is that it doesn't happen, but it is only we who can stop it, because this is a human problem that requires human solution. If we decide to do something, this might be better. So once again, thank you very much, Fearless Voice, for the opportunity you've given to me and to Madam Bridget. Keep up the good work we are doing. Biafra is going to be our own. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, for your early advice to Biafrans worldwide. I think, please, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, I still have 1 minute question, please. Biafrans worldwide, many are now celebrating the United Nations victory they have given to us by giving order to the zoo government under President Muhammadu Buhari to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. In this case, what advice do you have to give to the IPOB and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu legal lawyers? Thank you very much, sir.
IPOB members, the legal team, to make sure that this mandate given to Nigeria is actualized and materializes. It is our responsibility, because we know that Nigeria does not obey any law. It is our responsibility to compel Nigeria to comply with the mandate, with the order, the decision of the United Nations. Sometimes you have the tendency of rejoicing, and then after a while, everybody goes down. The spirit drops, and nothing happens. And then we start calling back, oh, the United Nations, you are not seeing what you are doing, what is happening to us. America, come and help us. They have given us all the tool and all the mandate we need. And let me say this. This is not just the mandate to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the complete mandate to go and secure the freedom of your country, Biafra. Everything we need to get to Biafra is in that document. It's a masterpiece document. We are supposed to turn our nights into day and make sure that we do everything possible, no stone left unturned, to make sure that this mandate is complied with. Because that is the mandate that will give us the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the restoration of Biafra. I think if we turn around and begin to talk to the United Nations or ask them for anything, then we'll be wasting time. Because God cannot do for us what we can do for ourselves. The United Nations cannot do for us what we can do for ourselves. They can only give us the mandate, the power, the tool, the authority to go and fight for the freedom of our leader and for the restoration of Biafra. We cannot sleep over this. Every IPOB institution is supposed to be hammering on this. Every IPOB organization is supposed to be working hard on how to realize this. If it means those of us in abroad, in diaspora, if it means going to your lawmakers, to our what do you call them in Britain, MPs, we have to do it. Start going to them. Go with this letter. This is a very powerful mandate too. All the Igbo organizations are supposed to be talking and shouting about this. Every organization in Biafra land is supposed to be hammering on this. This is because this is a testament to how the world looks at us. The world believes that we can take our fate into our hands. That our destiny is in our hands. That because of a couple of things, we needed their mandate, and they have given us the mandate. If we trip over it, shame on us. So if the advice I'm giving all the IPOB members, the advice in general, is to make sure that we are talking about this. We are sharing it. We are discussing it in our meetings. You attend the meeting, tell them about it. Many people are here overseas, are working 2-3 jobs. They don't have time for this thing. They go to job and then take care of their families. That's all they know. When you go to the meetings, talk about it. Present it to them. Tell them, what can we do as a body? Until we continue to shout, until it becomes a household name, a household word and language and discussion. That's when we're going to get the result. Otherwise, we will jump up and down, drink champagne that, oh, this is a wonderful achievement. At the end of the day, Fulani will be laughing at us and they continue to do what they're doing. And in the end, we have everybody to blame but ourselves. We will blame everybody except ourselves. Because that's what we are good at. We can never lift a finger, use a finger to lift a stone. To help ourselves. Rather, what we do sometimes is to pull ourselves down. Then when things don't happen, we blame everybody except ourselves. So, I am asking every IPOB member. We are trying to produce it into a pamphlet. People can carry it around. Share it. It will be electronically done. You can just speculate it. Actually, I'm putting it together as a pamphlet. Electronically can be distributed to highlight all these things, including the judgment that the High Court gave in Abia. When the federal government said that Mazen Nam cannot jump bail, the High Court of the same level as the Binta Yako's court in Abuja gave a judgment in favor of Mazen Nam that he didn't jump bail. He was running for his life, and told Nigeria to write an apology, official apology, in at least 3 major newspapers, and then pay Mazen Nam a compensation of 1 billion naira. This judgment has been there for months now. Nothing has happened. Because we, the Biafrans, especially IPOB members, we ignored it. We didn't celebrate it. Or we celebrated it and after a short brief, we forgot all about it. The same thing, if there's nothing is going to happen to this one too. We must learn to fight for our freedom. Because freedom is not cheap. And nobody gives you any freedom. You have to fight and take it from whoever is holding it from you. And that's what we need to do, because we have all the mandate to do on international level. Our case is just, and our case is clear. The world has heard us, and they have concurred with us that we have made a genuine case, and that we qualify to take our fate into our hands. But it is we who will do it. We don't want to Fulanis. We must do it ourselves. And once we get the freedom, we have it forever. We are equal to the task. We have all it takes to take our fate into our hands. If only we can make up our minds and decide to do it and do it the right way. Thank you very much, Reverend God.
God bless you, Reverend Father Odimmegwa. Remain blessed. As a woman leader, IPOB woman leader.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Bridget Okafor, IPOB Biafra. What advice as a mother of Biafrans, as IPOB of Biafrans, what advice or encouragement can you give Biafrans worldwide? Thank you very much.
No. Biafrans, the advice and the encouragement I have for you today is this. It's no different from what I had at the beginning of the time that our leader was renditioned. When all this confusion and all this fight started, me and my group, we tried the best we can to stop it. We talked to both sides, but we did not get anywhere. At that time, I figured that there would be problem, but I never knew it would be this of this magnitude. However, it has happened. We have been scattered, and most of us have gone astray. It has not been good at all. And I think we have fought enough, leaving our leader there. Nobody is focusing on him anymore other than fighting against ourselves, deceiving our people, castigating ourselves in the social media, trying to create popularity, showing high-tech deceit and high-tech sweet mouth in order to deceive our people. And in the end, we have seen that all it has resulted is our people being massacred. Enough is enough. If at all you are working for this freedom, if at all you are doing anything, you will realize that no single group, if I should call it group, no single entity can do it alone. Everybody has something to contribute. But the worst thing you will do, which myself and my group will not tolerate, is for you to usurp authority that doesn't belong to you. There is a big difference between power and authority. There are people who have just power, but they do not have authority to do certain things. If you know what you are authorized to do, focus on that and do it. Do not encroach in things that you are not authorized to do. And stop being in the social media and deceiving our people, because it's not fair to them. They are scrambling for information, and all that you are giving them is nothing but lies and fabrications for your own selfish and personal gain. And all that we get from it is our people being killed. Deceit from your deceive, and all you are doing to make things worse for our people, to make things worse for our freedom. Even if it is not possible for us to come together and work as one, everybody should focus on their own lane. But as for here in America, our leader has given order for us to come together and work as one, because we have the highest expectation to relieve our people. And we, the women, IPOB women, we are doing all the best we can. And we thank the gallant men to take it upon themselves to organize this Rising Sun Survival Outreach for us to reach out to our people and organize ourselves. And to the rest of the Biafrans in other parts of the world, stay on your lane. Stay on your lane. Do not encroach in things that are not your responsibility. Another advice that I have to give you, which you may take or you may leave it, is this. Our leader is still alive and waxing strong and still with his senses. and still giving order. And we are respecting what he is saying. When our leader was out here, there are people that he gave responsibility. The responsibility of raising funds, I have to say this, you may not like it. At this time, since Oyibo, who is the treasurer of the ESN account, according to you, it's not me, I'm not the one that is saying it. The group that was working with her have already told us that she has derailed. The responsibility of raising the ESN fund, whether you believe it or not, rests on IPOB women. And today, we have seen that the website of the USA that has always been used to raise funds for ESN has been hijacked by Simon Odimmegwa and his group. This is the worst thing that can ever happen to a nation at this time, because money is being raised over there and nobody knows what account it is going to, who is responsible of that account, an account that do not have a name. Whereas over here, we are scrambling and trying to get funds to take care of the men on ground. That is wrong. As a mother, Simon, I am advising you today, you know that I have always supported what you are doing. You in particular, because it looks like the Biafran restoration is now divided into two. Many Biafrans, yes, they are listening to you because you are very eloquent. You have already engulfed them with what you say. What you have is power. You do not have the authority to be responsible for the IPOB financial system and proceedings. Deceit from raising funds from ESN, because you are not taking care of ESN, you know that very well. Deceit from deceiving our people in that aspect, because we are here struggling on how to take care of those men, and people are being slaughtered every day because of lack of funds. And once again, we are asking everybody to stop fighting ourselves in the social media. It's time for us to start talking about the success that we have had so far. We start talking about how to release our leader and not fighting in the social media. If you don't know what to say, stay in your home and keep quiet. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, IPOB women leader, Biafra, Madam Bridget Okafor. Well done for your humbleness to the Biafrans. Thanks so much for coming into my platform, Fearless Voice, today. I also... Go ahead.
I said thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. I also thank you, Reverend Father Odimmegwa, for taking your time, for being in my platform to address Biafrans worldwide.
Thank you.
Hello.
We are here.
Yeah, thank you for having us, man.
Okay. Yes, this is closing time. I would like you, please, to lead us for the closing prayer. Reverend Father Odimmegwa, thank you very much.
Thank you. Almighty God and Father, we thank you for this wonderful meeting this evening. We thank you for the gift of our brother, fearless voice, Bridget, who has remained a very powerful voice, the voice of the voiceless, the voice of truth, the voice of justice and fairness, the voice of honesty, the voice of steadfastness, giving our people the sense of direction. We thank you for the gift of a person like him at this point in time. Every step of the way in this struggle, you have always provided somebody somewhere to shed the light of your grace to the direction that this struggle is going. We appreciate him very much. Thank you. We ask you to continue to bless him, bless his family, bless his business, profession, give him good health of mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you also for the dear friends. Continue to bless us, especially our leader, Odimmegwa.
Yes, sir.
We know that journey to this destination to its freedom is never easy. But we know that despite the changes and chances that we meet on the way, the end will always justify the end.
Yes, sir.
Almighty God and Father, lead us to that end so that victory shall be ours and the glory we go to your mighty name. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.